What's up, soil brothers and soil sisters? All right, y'all, I am getting a jump on Friday night dinner. I want pizza, and Bobby love focaccia pizza. So it is Thursday, and we need to go ahead and get our dough started for our focaccia bread, and that's what we're about to do. A few simple ingredients you need: a bowl. You do need saran wrap. I have a wooden spoon, a measuring cup, all-purpose flour, yeast, Redmond's real salt because it's the best. Don't cheat yourself. Olive oil. It's very simple. And water. You need warm water. I just haven't gotten my water yet. So I'm going to start with my 3 cups of flour. And this is just all-purpose flour. 3 cups. All right. I had to refill my flour. So the thing with focaccia, I've seen so many recipes, but the one that we like the most is letting our bread, our dough, ferment overnight. So
here's the forecast for tomorrow in Savannah. Look for some sun and thunderstorms with a high of 87 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 75 degrees. 87
is great. I'll take that. So 3 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, about 2 tablespoons or so of Redmond's real salt. I'm gonna mix that. As I was saying before, Alexa rudely interrupted me. We like to ferment. I like to ferment our dough overnight. So that's why I'm starting it today. So tomorrow I can work it. And I'm using about half pack or a tablespoon or so of yeast, not the whole pack. I don't need the whole pack. I'm only making 1 pizza. I'm gonna mix this well. And then I'm gonna go and grab 1 1/3 cup of warm water, not hot, but warm. And then we'll come back and I'm gonna change my position so you can see this dough. It's not a dry dough. It is wet and sticky. So I'm gonna bring you in so you can see that. All right, so I'm gonna pour my water in, and I have about 1 1/3 cups of water. And we're gonna mix this. So all we have in here is our all-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, Redmond's real salt, yeast, and our warm water. We're gonna mix it until it's well combined. You don't want to see any more dry flour, but it will be sticky. So see that? It's a sticky dough. So your dough will be sticky, but you want to make sure, again, I just scrape my sides good just to make sure I got it all well combined. I'm going to get my hands in here so I can feel my dough and make sure it's not too dry or too sticky. Yeah. So, you don't have to need this type of dough. You don't need it. What you want to do is tomorrow we'll show you the technique in pulling your dough to get it where you need it. But y'all, this bread is good for sandwiches, pizza, just to eat it by itself with some good old olive oil. Oh my God. So, yep. It's nice and sticky, as you can see. But well incorporated. Just how we want it. Okay, so now let me get some of this dough off because I do want as much of this dough in our pizza as we can have, or under our pizza, should I say. Nice and sticky, but well incorporated. Okay, good enough. Happy with that. So now what I'm gonna do is wash my hands. All right. Now we got our hands nice and clean. I have just some olive oil, and I'm gonna spray this. I love this thing. So you can spray, or you can pour. Like that. You do want a generous amount of oil. Now, the thing with focaccia is lots of oil. Lots of good olive oil. And you want a generous amount. So I'm going to make sure I coat this well. So as it grow overnight, it got some help. And it won't just stick and be stuck. So I'm coating it well with my olive oil. Nice old greasy, sticky lump. Like that. It's nice and greasy, soft and sticky. And that's how you want it. And I'll leave it alone for the last step in making focaccia bread for today, for day one, is covering it. Whatever you use to cover your bread. I'm just using saran wrap because I'm gonna leave it out right here overnight. Now you do want to let this sit and ferment and rise and do its thing at least 12 hours. I won't cook this until tomorrow evening about this time because this is our dinner. Meanwhile, all right, so I got our dough in here, and I'll show you this tomorrow before we pull it out. Room temperature. As long as it's warm in your house, you're good to go. If it's not warm, you may want to stick this in the oven with the light on, but it's warm, so it's good to go right here. And I won't bother this until tomorrow morning. Right now, what you want to think about, or what you should probably already know, is what kind of pizza are you making? Bobby loves meat pizza. So I'll shred my cheese in the morning sometime, or around noon maybe. But I'll go ahead and get all our meats prepared. Not pineapple. Pineapple does go on pizza. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do pineapple go on pizza? I know it does. Actually, grilled chicken and barbecue sauce and pineapple go on pizza. Thank me later. But I'll get all of our meats prepared. I'll go ahead and cook my bacon. I'll probably put maybe some ground beef on there, pepperonis. I'll shred my cheese. I'm just putting mozzarella cheese on here. But I have to make our tomato sauce too. Because we have an abundance of tomatoes, I'll go ahead and make our tomato sauce in the morning too. But the first thing we'll do in the morning is get our bread out of this bowl in a pan that we'll be cooking it in. I'm gonna cook it in a glass pan. So I'll get it in that and start pulling and stretching. Which is, I'll probably do it like 4 times until I feel like it's ready to be filled up with goodies. I'm gonna make pot pizza sauce. So I'll grab a couple of tomatoes out of the freezer and we'll make our pizza sauce after we get this in a pan so it can get ready to, what you want to do is you want to pull and stretch and then let it rest. Pull and stretch and let it rest. Like come back every hour or so and pull and stretch again. So that's why I'm taking my time in doing this. Our dough will sit probably a good 16 hours, close to 16 hours before I even touch it. The longer it sits, the better it is. All right, y'all. I just started this focaccia dough maybe 2 hours ago. It is rising good. It is warm in here. I mean, it's 100 degrees outside, so. But look at that. And we still got a good 10 hours to go. 14 hours or so to go. All right. See you in the morning. Oh my God. I wish y'all could smell this. It smells amazing. You see all them bubbles? That's what you want. It's nice and jiggly. It has risen. It did its thing. And it smells great. Yeasty, like beer a little bit. So, all right, let's get our pan prepared so we can move on to the next step. So in this pan, I have sausage. This is sausage and ground beef. I'm just gonna go ahead and cook them together. Maybe a half a pound of sausage and about a pound of ground beef. Right now, so I didn't even boil these yet. I just let them sit and they have unthawed or thawed out. Now, I'm letting them drain because I want to get as much of the water out as I can, but I don't want the skin, so I can just pull the skin off, and this end where it was attached to the plant, and then I'll let these sit and get some of this moisture off, because I want kind of thick and creamy sauce, not water. All the skin. When they were frozen, I could have just boiled these for like 2-3 minutes, and all the skin would have came off anyway. But because I'm somewhat being lazy, I didn't do that. I just let them sit out. Now I can just pull the skin off, but I need to let them drain. Now the skins are good for a thick paste, or to thicken up your sauce. But these are just paste tomatoes. I didn't mix any slices or anything with these, so we're just gonna go with the flesh for the most part. I may have a little skin in there, but not much. You can choose to leave your skin out, taking all of ours off, and that little core in the middle. And I'm gonna go ahead and brown my ground beef, cook some bacon, and get everything prepared so we can make some pizza. Alright, let's go. See that? I don't want that in our pizza. That's just where it was attached to the plant. I want that off. Okay, on to the next. Let's let this sit and strain for a few minutes before we get it in our pan. Meanwhile, let's cook some meat. Bobby loves meat pizza, and he loves his pizza loaded with meat, so we're not gonna cheat on his meat. Do that. Okay, enough of that. That drip down. It's a lot of water in here. I want that in our stuff. And in this pan, I'm gonna get my tomatoes going, so I can make sauce. All right. So to my sauce, I'm gonna add Italian seasoning. That should be enough of that. This is garlic. We just freeze dry herbs. Redmond's real salt. I'm gonna let this cook. For a little while, and then I'll taste it and see if I need to add more or what else. But I'll just let this cook down for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I let it cook down. You can choose to put this in a blender and get it real smooth. You can leave it a little chunky, hit it with the immersion blender. I think this is pretty good. It is quite tasty. I do add a pinch of sugar because it's delicious. But this is pretty much our pizza sauce. Simple, right? A few tomatoes, a little bit of fresh, freeze-dried garlic, Italian seasoning, salt, and sugar. Let it cook down, blend it, immersion blend it, or not, because some people like thick and chunky tomato sauce. This is good, great right here. This is perfect for us, so. Alrighty, let's get this meat done. So in this pan, I have sausage. This is sausage and ground beef. I'm just gonna go ahead and cook them together. Maybe a half a pound of sausage and about a pound of ground beef. Alright, so beautiful. I love it. And I love the way it smells. So again, you do use quite a bit of olive oil. So I am going to spray my pan really, really well with my olive oil. Good to go. And then I'm going to put my dough, get my dough out in it. Look at that. Smell like beer. Good. Now, once you get it in your pan, you wanna. I like to start working with mine. This does take time and patience to get it to stretch and pull. Some people stretch and pull as they'll let it sit, then they'll come back and stretch it and pull it, but don't break it. So you only want to pull it a little bit at a time, and then you want to let it rest. So I got a pretty big pan to fill here. Stretch it out. It's gonna keep springing back, but that's all right. We're gonna work with it. That's what it's supposed to do. And as I'm patting it, I am pulling it a little bit. But remember, I don't want to break it because I don't want holes in it. But I am going to do this until I get it about, my pan about filled. Like that. Nice and even. Now, I think I played with it enough. I'm gonna let it rest. So I'm gonna take my saran wrap that I balled up for some reason, and I'm gonna cover this again, and I'm gonna let it sit. You can let this sit up to 4 hours. You can come back in an hour or so and check it, see what it's doing. You may need to do that again, or you can just let it sit until you're ready for it. Now, I'm gonna pre-bake mine because I like for my crust to be done, even though all of my toppings are done or will be done or cooked when I put them on. But I'm gonna pre-bake this. But for now, I'm gonna let this sit here for a few more hours. Probably around noon or so, 1 o'clock. I'll go ahead and stretch it again, just to make sure all of my sides are to the end, and then I'll let it sit. And probably around that time, I'll start preparing my sauce and cooking my meat, shred my cheese, so then we can have pizza for dinner. So we'll be back in a few hours when we get ready to stretch this one more time. All right, so this is our dough before it go in the oven. See, it's nice and bubbly. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven just because I don't want doughy dough. So I'll cook it a little bit before I put our toppings on, then I stick it back in the oven. So I'll go ahead, while this is in the oven, I'm gonna shred my cheese. We have our meat ready. I'll grab some pepperoni. Our sauce is done. Bobby tasting that now to see if or what I need to add to it. Then we can mosey on. All right. So my husband, he like pizza sauce. He doesn't like a dry pizza. So I'm gonna put a generous amount of sauce on here. And this was only what, five or six tomatoes or something. I'm gonna kind of leave an edge for crust. Okay, so on top of that, I'm going a little bit of Redlands real salt. I'm gonna put my cheese. Lots of cheese. I'm gonna put Italian seasoning. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on top. first. Make that enough. Now y'all, this is a little bit. This thing is a little bit. But Bobby loves beef pizza. So it gotta be lovely. I might shred some more cheese. Just to sprinkle some on top. This is just the hamburger and paste. Ground beef. Now I got some Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna sprinkle on it. I know I should be grating my Parmesan, but I ain't getting nothing. But I had this in the refrigerator, so I use a little bit. Then I'm gonna put my bacon on. I think I'm gonna go ahead and shred a little bit more cheese. Put on top. A little bit more cheese. The cheese on top. I'm gonna stick this in the oven. I'll check it in about 30 minutes and see what it looked like. So I ain't want to waste the sauce. I only had a tiny bit. I just drizzled it on top. I'm gonna stick this in the oven. We'll come back and check it in about 30 minutes. My pizza's done. I let it bake for 30 minutes and then I turned it off and let it sit for 10 minutes. I don't know why I like baking. Let's cut this. Try please. Homemade pizza. Focaccia pizza at that. Ooh, that sauce is good. That 13 pan, I think. But anyhow, this is good. Try it. Alright, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one. I think we're cooking squash next. Stay tuned. And don't let nobody steal your